All right, JJ, you want to start us off with Coach Henson?
Hey, Steve, I guess it was a tale of two halves for you guys tonight. Is that a fair assessment of this game?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Didn't think we came out with the kind of fight that I thought we would have. We were pretty energetic and shoot around. We had a good practice yesterday. Our guys just didn't get off to a very good start, and the game itself didn't have much flow. It was kind of slow, and we weren't getting stops. We couldn't run. We did get to the free throw line fairly early in the game, which was good, but that also affected the flow a little bit. We'll take that. We need to get to the line. We've been preaching that. We've been talking about that. We felt like when their big guy was not in the game, they didn't have much shooting. Zero. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I apologize. But he's a good shot blocker, good rim protector. When he was not in the game, we felt like we'd get in the paint and score down in there. We did that a little bit against Our Lady of the Lake the other day. So I thought we had a good aggressive mindset. But it was just kind of a choppy first half. Couldn't get much going. Javon and Keaton, Javon didn't shoot it very well early. So that was kind of one of the positives. We were able to play through one of those nights and had some people step up. And then, second half we got it going.
At the under 16 timeout in the second half, it seemed like you got on your team a little bit. What was the message during that timeout, and were you happy with the way they responded?
Yeah, you can't do that every game, every timeout. But the message at that point was really just do what you're supposed to do. The guy that's supposed to inbound the ball needs to inbound the ball. And we don't like to threaten guys, and we don't like to yank guys out on every single mistake. If you miss a shot, we don't like to yank a guy out. But that was the message at that point was if you have a breakdown, not shooting, but if you don't do what you're supposed to do, if you're in the wrong spot, you're coming out. And I think they responded. I think they got in the right spots a little more the rest of the game. And certainly we were able to pop the game open.
We saw Luka come off the bench again and kind of energize you guys. That's the second straight game he's done that for you guys. Are you happy with him in that role?
Yeah, really, we're very, very happy with him. We've talked to, we've got Zumbel coming off the bench. We've got Luka coming off the bench. And those guys are starters, in our minds. And you can only start 5 guys, but those guys deserve it. We talked to the starters that, hey, we're going to sub early. And I didn't sub quite as early tonight, but we're going to sub those guys early. They deserve to be out there. Everybody deserves to be out there, and don't overthink it. Jacob, if we can get Jacob to play really, really hard for 3 or 4 minutes and get him out, he's going to be more effective. Luka's going to come in and hopefully keep it rolling. Eric Parrish, trying to get him to play, just continue to focus on his effort because he's got so much talent. So we're going to sub early and often, and Luka really came. Jacob had some foul trouble tonight, so Luka came in and gave us some much needed offense, some physicality. We had some bad fouls again in this game. We've talked about that the other day, but Luka was good. Luka was good. Made some shots, was aggressive, moved the ball, and he's working hard. He's denying entry passes. He's getting up on ball screens and playing aggressively in that regard. That's a big change for us this year, is trying to get our big guys up and be more aggressive on ball screen coverages.
Okay, Greg, you're up.
Steve, what specifically led to some of those offensive struggles in the first half? Is there anything you can pinpoint that wasn't working for you guys?
No, nothing specific. We just the ball wasn't moving very well. We weren't cutting hard enough. Coaches and people often talk about how hard you have to work defensively. Defense is about effort and mindset. But offense, to be a good offensive team, you have to work at that as well. You have to cut hard. You have to sprint the screen. You have to sprint out of screens. You got to pass the ball on time. We just weren't real sharp there, and forced some shots. The other day we didn't have many forced shots, even though we had a couple guys that did not shoot it very well. We didn't have many forced shots in our last ball game. And I thought we had several very early in this ball game. So we got to find that balance. Keaton and Javon have to be elite players for us. They know that. They got to trust their teammates, and I think we'll get there. I think they're starting to get excited about some of the things these other guys are doing.
Was it just tightening up all those things in the second half, or was there something else that was significantly different that you started to find that rhythm?
Yeah, I think we just fed off our defensive energy, which is a good sign for us. You know, we can't rely on our shooting to be the source of energy. And Lockie, of course, gave us such a good lift. Again, Parrish got involved, got his hands on balls, rebounded it, had some good interior passing. I thought it was our energy on the defense that kind of helped our offense.
You've talked pretty consistently about feeling like you have a lot of areas that you guys want to address and improve and keep working on. Do you feel like you're getting closer as the year goes on, or how do you feel about the team overall at this point?
We've taken some good steps in the last week and a half, had some good practices. We've been talking a lot. We've got to have an aggressive defensive mindset. We've got to rebound the basketball. We did that again. We did that against Oregon State. Our Lady of the Lake numbers might have been skewed a little bit just because they don't have much interior size, but our mindset on the rebounding is pretty good. So what we've been talking about the last week and a half is finding a way to grind out segments of practice defensively. It's going to be hard. It's going to be physical. We got to buy into that. And then on the flip side, we've got to get our guys pumped up, playing with confidence offensively. And we're having some stretches there. Again, Luka obviously is feeling very good right now. I thought Parrish made some great plays. Cedric's not the kind that's going to worry about it too much, but he's coming off a really good game against Oregon State. So we know he's getting closer to playing the way he can. Javon had a big night against Our Lady of the Lake. Keaton's still thinking a little bit too much right now, but we get our offense, get our confidence pumped up on the offensive end and fight and compete and dig and dive on the floor. You're seeing more of that right now. Guys diving on the floor, taking charges. Those are positive signs for us.
Jonas?
Coach, you mentioned Keaton there, and he had a bit of a bounce back night. Especially, he seemed to look refueled there in the second half. Hit a couple 3-pointers that just kind of got that energy going. Obviously, it's important to have him activated as you get into the conference portion of your schedule. He did go down tonight underneath the basket. Looked like he was holding his hamstring. Is he okay?
Yeah, Josh, our trainer, said he maybe a little strain there. Javon went down underneath the basket as well. We had 3 or 4 guys, it felt like, at one time going down, but didn't think it was anything serious. We've got a few days off coming up, so I don't foresee that being a big issue. Josh didn't seem too concerned about it. Keaton does a great job of taking care of his body. He gets in the training room a lot. He takes advantage of all of our resources. He gets in the cold tubs, the hot tubs. Josh is fantastic with the different ways that he can treat guys. So I would expect he'll be fine here by the time we resume practice in a few days.
Coach, after the Our Lady of the Lake game the other day, Keaton came back out when we were working on some game notes afterwards and kind of hit the floor a little bit and worked on that shot some more. I know you said that he's overthinking a little bit too much, potentially at this point. What is that kind of where it's at? Or does tonight kind of that second half help him moving forward?
Well, hopefully. I mean, he's a terrific player, and you hope that it won't take much to just flip that switch back on and get right back to playing the way he's capable of. I think getting in the gym and shooting is the best way to get yourself out. If you're fighting a little bit with confidence, get in that gym by yourself or with a manager or with a buddy, whatever. I think getting there yourself sometimes is great. You just kind of zone in, you get in the zone, you lock things out, you start picturing yourself scoring. Confidence is an amazing thing. It's a difficult thing. Coaches, we can't tell them to be confident. You're feeling good or you're not. And what I talked to him about was just trying to focus on one or two things. Getting your feet right, perfect feet. You're in here shooting. You can't try to fix a shooting slump by working on 3 or 4 things. You got to lock in on 1 or 2 things. Get your feet right, aggressive follow through, some trigger for yourself. So you're just focusing and watching that ball go through the net over and over and over. Some guys like to do it in a quiet gym so you can hear that net pop when it goes through the net. Some guys like getting in there with music. That's the best way to get back to feeling good.
And Coach, You guys obviously struggled offensively there in the first half. There was a lot of fouls on both teams in that first half. I think JJ said that it lasted about 50 minutes. It seemed to go on for forever, which could be difficult when you're already having shooting woes. How much did the fouling on both parties in that first half affect your maybe your pace of play and getting something going before halftime?
It did for sure. And again, we want to get to that line. We want to get to the bonus. I think we got the bonus with maybe 11 minutes left in the first half. Then came out in the second half and drew 3 or 4 fouls immediately early in the second half. So that's a positive sign. It does mess up the flow of the game. Obviously, if there's no fouls and no turnovers, and you can get some tempo going, we're pretty good in those situations. We like that, but that's not always the way it's going to be. And we weren't getting stops early in the game, so it's harder to run after makes than it is after misses. But yeah, the free throws caused it to be a very, very choppy game. As long as we're shooting a lot more free throws than our opponent, we'll live with that. But it does make it difficult. I mean, for us to draw 29 fouls, I mean that doesn't happen very often. So that tells us that we had guards driving it, we had big guys attacking the rim, and that's a positive stat for us right there.
Coach, it really was something to see your team respond there at that 16-minute timeout. Good job, great win, I guess, at the end of the day. Thanks.
Okay, Jerry, you can wrap us up with Coach Henson.
Yeah, Coach, just wanted to ask how you plan to manage the time. You got a few days before Christmas and then, about 8 days or so before the conference. How are you going to manage this?
Well, they're going to get a few days off, which they need. Again, we've been at this for a while, and the isolation part is tough. The not going out, not seeing people is tough, and I'm proud of our guys for the way they've handled that. It's allowed us to practice a great deal. We'll give them a few days off here. We'll come back, practice a couple times, take another day off, and then get ready. I think it's set up so we'll practice when we do resume practice. We'll practice 2 days in a row, take a day off, then practice 3 days leading up to the Rice game, which is kind of a normal setup. So those first 2 practices would be just working on things that we need to continue to work on, cleaning up some things, late game situations, special situations, zone. We threw out the zone defense tonight. Haven't done much of that this year. Threw that out at the end of the first half. We had a lineup that we liked. We thought our zone could be good against it, and bought us 2 or 3 possessions. So clean up some things that you just need to work on throughout the year, and then 3 days to prepare real specifically for Rice.
Got all your shopping done?
Oh yeah. My wife does everything except her own gifts, and I'm actually done, which is maybe the earliest ever, because
all packages have arrived.
I would typically wait till tomorrow to go do it, but I'm done.
All right, Coach. Have a happy holiday.
Thank you, guys. Happy holidays to you. Appreciate everything.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Guys.